Hello, my name is Glenn Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. Today I'm seeing The Revenant. God. This one's really starting to piss me off. Okay, I saw the trailer for this like 3 months ago. This might actually be the last movie I see that I've seen the trailer for in theaters. Like, ever since I've gone to merchandise. That's pretty cool. I just remember seeing that trailer and thinking it looked incredibly silly. I mean, it was Leonardo DiCaprio screaming like, "Arr!" dressed like a hobo and crawling out of a hole. And then most of the trailer was just, like, rhythms over his breathing. And it's just so, like, pretentious. I just found it kind of funny. It was just like, yeah, I'm not sure how to pull it off. I'm not sure how this will be good. It looks pretty bad. I'm hoping it'll be at least hilariously bad, so that way I can laugh at it. Oh, apparently, Leonardo won a Golden Globe for this. Good for him. Yeah. There's a reason I don't cover the Golden Globes. It's like, may as well cover the Teen Choice Awards while I'm at it. But anyway. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Leo. I think he's a character actor, for one thing. He always plays a very similar role. Someone who has a normal demeanor, but is secretly crazy and likes to yell! That's Leonardo DiCaprio. In almost all his movies. So yeah, I always find it hilarious when people suggest, like, why doesn't he get an Oscar? I think the one of them, there's one person who posted the Facebook, and she, or he or she, I don't remember actually, posted like this picture, and I'm pretty sure it was serious, even though, like, I just checked it out. I was pretty sure, even though it just made me laugh out loud, the imagery of it. It was a compilation of deep Leonardo DiCaprio moments, 95% of which are him screaming, "Ah!" And the caption over it said, "Give this man an Oscar!" And as far as I know, it was totally serious, even though that totally elevates my point. Ah! Romeo and Juliet, no! Titanic, no! Oh, God. Yeah, I don't have high hopes here. Although this movie does have the same cinematographer from Birdman, so that's exciting. I don't know. I'm hoping it's either hilariously bad, or maybe it'll surprise me. Maybe it'll be good. I'll just have to see. I saw this movie back-to-back with The Forest, and this was the low point of the evening. Okay, let me say this off straight. The cinematography, the makeup, the costume design are exquisite. Definitely top-notch. It looks amazing. All the look parts of it are great. The visual stuff. Every other thing in this is awful. Everything. This movie is garbage. And believe it or not, this isn't Leo's fault. Why? Because this was a role where I'm pretty sure literally anyone could pull it off. There's barely any lines, beyond grunting. I'd love to see the script for this, by the way. It's probably grunt, grunt, wince, grunt, scream, grunt, grunt. Think about grunting. Grunt. So yeah, not Leo's fault. Literally anyone could do this, and there's not really much room to wiggle around even if he were a great actor. So, yeah. The main part of this movie is that generally you want to stick to two different things when you're making a film. Character-driven, plot-driven. This movie has no plot. Well, it has, like, the basis of one. Leonardo gets mauled by a really terrible-looking CGI bear, and then he's left to die, and then we spend 2 hours following him on his very slow path to recovery, and then watching him kill some dude. It was so tedious. This movie is 2.5 hours from 10 minutes of plot. I've heard of a similar story to this. I haven't heard the story this was based on. I've heard of a similar story where a dude was, like, injured and in the rainforest, and he managed to crawl all the way to civilization that was several miles away. Yeah. That's cool and all, but it's tough to... that would be something you'd put in a 90-minute movie max, and that's with a good script. This is terrible. Once again, it looks nice, but direction and script are awful. So dull. It opens with, like, a shootout between Native Americans and like, fur sellers. And it is so dull. There's like a scene where, like, there's like a scene where, I don't know. There's, like, how do I describe this? There's a scene where his horse dies and he guts it and he climbs inside and stuff, and it is so boring. Everything he does is so boring. Nothing happens. Nothing happens for so long. And I can't be alone here. This movie is, what, like 80% on Rotten Tomatoes? That is ridiculous. I mean, how? Just thinking of, like, from emotional connection to the audience, I mean... there's only 2 moments, I think, where the audience seemed invested in the film, and that was around the beginning, when everyone laughed out loud when the bear rolled on top of Leonardo, because it's a fake-looking CGI bear that goes whoop-de-boop. And once at the end, when the ending I kind of enjoyed, just from a practical effects standpoint. Once again, the visual stuff, nothing else. When, like, some dude gets his fingers chopped up and everyone goes, ooh, because it looked pretty cool. Yeah. The ending scene where he's fighting some dude, like, I'll admit, it looks pretty cool. That's probably my favorite part of the movie, because it felt like something was happening for once. You know what, I'll compare this to something else. Castaway, right? A little similar, right? I don't know if for those of you who don't know, Tom Hanks plays a guy who works as like a manager or like a high-up guy at FedEx. And basically, on his way back home, he gets stranded on a deserted island, and basically survives there for 2 years. And the movie goes on over that. Why is it that movie is not boring and this one is? Because it's a similar thing. I mean, Leonardo's by himself, by his own wits. Of course, he's already an experienced frontiersman or whatever. We can tell that from riveting lines of dialogue like an hour and a half into the movie. Even though he's terrible at it, as we later see, because he gets people killed with it. This movie's contradictory, by the way. But yeah, like, it's ramped up, so, you know, Tom Hanks, he wasn't playing a guy who's used to the outdoors. He's just playing someone who's just like, really, really good at managing people. But in this one, he's injured as well, so it's kind of balancing that out. So it's very similar. Reason that Castaway was so good is that prior to the whole event, we get to know Tom Hanks's character. We get to understand why we should root for him, why we should care about what he's going through. And throughout the scene, Tom Hanks is given plenty of room to establish characteristics and so that even though he's being silent, you can get a lot of strong character from him. Leonardo is not given this, so it's not his fault. And he's not given much establishment. The only thing that's in there to make us root for him, I guess, is that his son was killed and he's going to get revenge for his son. But we barely know his son either, so I don't care. I mean, I guess from a truly primal thing of, he killed his boy, he get his boy. Other than that... Oh, and by the way, throughout the movie, this movie is padded with a bunch of weird, pointless dream sequences. And they all reveal a little thing at a time. And eventually, reaching the conclusion, towards the end, the conclusive dream sequence that Leonardo likes his son. That's it. At the end, it shows him with his son, and they hug in the dream, and he misses him because his son's dead. Thanks! I needed that. I'm not saying that, like, that this concept doesn't work. It can! This could be really entertaining. This could be enlightening. This can be inspiring. This could be anything. Instead, it's shit. It's nothing. There's nothing to like. Except for, like, technical stuff, like makeup, costumes, and cinematography. That's it. Everything else is shit. And you know what? The script is the foundation, and when that is just, like, nothing, it really does tear down everything else. And when the director isn't helping, that also tears down everything else. So it's like, it doesn't even matter. Nothing in this matters. I just wasted 2.5 hours of my life. Yeah. I just don't get the CGI bear, though. I mean, I understand you want him to get mauled by a bear, but it looks so shitty. And I could understand it's a technical limitation. You just don't have the effects to make that look not shitty. Okay. You have, like, the world's greatest cinematographer on hand. Can't you, like, make him do it in a way to where it looks a lot less shitty? Or maybe do it in a different way, or something. I mean, at least it wasn't a guy in a costume, but it was still terrible-looking CGI, so... And that's like a theme throughout the movie, like, at the beginning he shoots a terrible-looking CGI moose, and then, later on, there's a bunch of terrible-looking CGI bison that are being hunted by a group of terrible-looking CGI wolves. It's just a theme, I guess. Maybe it was purposeful. Maybe it's art. Maybe this whole movie is fucking test of your stamina. God, I can't believe how many critics are just praising this monstrosity. This is... Well, obviously this is the worst movie I've seen this year, but... if this came out last year, it would have made my bottom 10 list. I'm not even joking. This was that bad. It was, yeah, fundamentally awful. I can't say any more about it. I don't know. I guess the only thing I can think that you might get enjoyment out of is if you skim over it and just look over the cinematography and stuff. But You know what? Birdman was incredible. It had great cinematography, but it also had great characters in there, and good dialogue. And that's honestly the draw there. The cinematography really helps, but the dialogue is where it's at. You know what I think? This is the anti-Spotlight. Spotlight is incredibly minimalist, doesn't use fancy choreography, cinematography, doesn't use like super essential lighting or anything. It's very plain, and it uses that to enunciate its characters and its theme. This movie uses the opposite technique to try and hide the fact that it has no characters and no theme. Everyone in here is a one-dimensional stereotype, at best. So, yeah. What can I say? And until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching a Dyer-Situation.